Everybody, John,
Dan,
the point.
the point.
The point. Point. Anyways. All right. So, I want to talk about Rebecca Wells. She's an author. And she wrote a book called The Divine Secrets of the Ya Ya Sisterhood. So, this goes back to 1996. This was her second book that she wrote. Came out in hard copy in 96. It took almost 3 years for it to get to the bestseller side. So it was long into paperback by then.
Mm-hmm.
What was fascinating is how she created a following, how she created something that people just gravitated to, and then it became almost self-sustaining.
Wow.
So she went around the country, bookstores, different places, and she would read from the book. And she said the very first audience she had was 7 people. So if you want to read some of the story, it comes out of the Tipping Point book, Malcolm Gladwell. But she goes, there's 7 people. And what's really different, though, too, is she was an actor by trade. And so she acted out she wasn't sitting there with the book reading line by line. She was acting it out. She was getting people engaged. It went from 7 people to 700, 800, 900 people. And it became a following for women and their daughters. And they would come around. They were very interested, really resonated with them. And then it just started to percolate amongst itself. So it makes me think about a persistence factor. It makes me think about how you can get sort of a groundswell of advocacy when you do things well and you line up well with your audience. Mm-hmm. So she wasn't trying to get me in the room, and she was trying to get mothers and daughters in the room because it really resonated and hit home. So can you talk a little bit about how that's relatable on the sales side, persistence, all those other things?
As you were talking, I just kept thinking, be yourself.
Yeah.
Don't do something that everybody else does.
Yes.
So look at your competitors. How do they go out and bring in business? How do they market themselves? What do they do? And stop doing that. Do something that's you and it is like to your core, your beliefs. Do things that interest and are fun and exciting for you. And so I just love that story because there's someone who did that because that's what she liked. That's what she thought was best. So sales is kind of like that as well, in that I don't want to be like everybody else. I'm my own unique person. So here I am with Sandler Training, and we teach a Sandler sales system, which has some common ground to it for all people learning and using Sandler. But my own personality comes out. It's what I like. It's the way I do things. And here's where persistence comes into play. If I believe in my core that no matter what happens, I will be successful.
Yes.
It's amazing how much that occurs. I do become successful.
Yep.
So you've got, look, there are times where things are great and you're loving it and things are easy, but then there's times where things are really hard and you're like, I don't know that I can do this. And that's the time where you just get back to doing things that you want to do, that you like to do, with this mindset of, and I will do it. Never, ever, ever quit.
Yeah, and there's so many aspects to, and I surrender, I give up on people, and in part I'm giving up on myself at times, but there's the old adage, how many touches does it take to get somebody into a real conversation and gain as a client? You hear the numbers 7 and 14 and everything in between. That persistence factor is the difference between, I think, average and good and great, is people that don't give up, they keep driving through, they believe in what they're doing, and they like it. And so their enthusiasm comes because they just like doing it.
Yes.
As weird as we are, we love talking about sales all day long.
Yep.
That's what we do. A little odd for most people, but you get that from us. You know we really enjoy it. We're not just trying to get you into something to get you in.
Right.
We know it's working, and it can drastically change the practice. And, well, lantern flies. Any other thoughts other than lantern flies?
Well, no, not with the lantern flies. But look, if you don't think you're going to succeed, nor will your customers, nor will your employees. Yeah. It all starts up here.
Attitude is key.
All
right, everybody. See you again tomorrow.
Take care.